Good morning, all you Midwestern mages. My name is Broderick Hanson. Love to welcome you back to the Minnesota's Magic Podcast Show. Joining me as always, my two co-hosts. You know one of them as that mono blue menace from Minnesota. That's Dylan Hopman.
What's up, Brody?
I don't know.
Was that the cue? Was that a cue? Sorry.
I get it.
I'm sick, so I don't feel so great this morning.
Oh, we all are.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm a little tired. A little late night last night, but
I feel like I've been hit by a truck. And speaking of driving that truck, that's Blake Cooper.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing Dylan's a little sick because he got a case of the Bandians last night.
I'm gonna remove you from the chat.
Oh, no, not the band.
I'm gonna remove you from the chat now, pal.
I was talking mad. I lost the game, but I was talking mad crap to him last night.
So nothing changed from when you normally play Commander.
Baron almost lost to the mono white banding, and the mono white banding has gotten even more banding than it was before. It used to be kind of good. Now it's just bad.
I may have won the game, but I definitely lost in spirit.
Yeah, it's like one of those. I won.
I felt like
one of those wins where you're just a husk afterwards.
It's like, just let it end.
I had a great time.
I had a good time too. It was a good game. It was all in all, it was a really good game, but it was just funny.
Speaking of old things like banding, we're gonna be talking about
Close, almost had it.
Almost had it. We're gonna be talking about Magic's 30th anniversary edition. That whatever the hell that's gonna be, and what I'm excited for, Brothers Wars, because oh boy, a actual playable Mishra, and we get two of them. And one of my favorite mechanic, Meld, is back, and I am hyped for that. What about you two? What do you feel about Brothers Wars so far?
I think it's gonna be. I think it looks like it's just gonna be another forced set that Wizards of the Coast is gonna push out, and I have zero interest in it, unfortunately.
All right. Nice, starting off with the positivity.
Hey, I will not be interested in a set until Wizards slows their roll when it comes to Magic the Gathering. I mean, there's a couple cards in there, like I know we've only seen it, but of the cards they've released, I don't like any of them as of right now. I think that the new Urza Planeswalker just screams meta chase to me, and that's about it. But the new Mishra, I like the new Mishra. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my opinion on it is I am kind of 50-50 on it so far. I think Urza's fine. I like that they are doing brown border artifacts. That makes me happy. Looks like we're getting a reprint of Skull Clamp and Baleful Strix and Worm Coil. I wish the Ivory Tower.
Most important one.
Ivory Tower? I know.
No, Jalal's Tome.
yeah, that's one. But I wish the Ivory Tower was the old art. I don't like this like Leaning Tower of Pisa art.
Hold on a second. There's an Ivory Tower reprint. Why am I looking?
Yeah.
Why can't I see that?
I don't know. But one thing I am very excited for.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Is Queen Kayla, because my wife's name is Kayla, and I am going to. She doesn't play Magic at all, but I'm going to build a deck for her. She's not going to play it ever, but it's going to be a cat deck, and it's going to be 100% proxies, and I'm going to custom create every single card in that deck with pictures of my cats, because it's going to be a cat deck, and it's going to be great.
That sounds like a project you're going to give up halfway through.
You know, it is a little bit of a process, but no, I am going to follow through. And hey, a Howling Mine reprint, that sounds awesome. I mean, so far they've only announced a few reprints, but like I'm pretty stoked on that.
I'll take it back for one card. The alternate the alternate art Worm Coil engine. That the one where it looks like
blueprints.
It looks like it's the blueprints for a Worm Coil engine build. That one, I like that. As a modern player, nice touch. But that's the end of that.
But yeah, I'm apprehensively excited because as much as I would love to be able to be like, this is great, and I'm going to buy all of this, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough sell, in my opinion. It's just a lot. There's a lot going on,
I
especially
disagree with
with.
that, but
It's not even that. It's just like this. Just when I say there's a lot going on, I mean like just with Wizards and the way they print. It's gonna be the spoiler season's gonna end, and the cards are gonna come out, and then 2 weeks later, it'll be the next big thing.
Yep.
And
yeah,
that,
it is getting a little fatigue.
So
Like,
we're talking a lot
not a
about these
little.
cards. Maybe we should talk about some of them.
I feel like they have been, but okay.
Let's
What do you want to talk about?
let's start about with I guess some of the face command. They revealed the 2 commander decks, so I think we primarily play a lot of commander. So I think we should go with them. I think we'll start with the Chad himself, Mishra, Eminent One. He is a. Oh, I zoomed in too much. He is a 4/5 legendary human artificer for 2 and Grixis. And he says at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy token. Wow, reading's hard. Do you know that? But he says create a token that's a copy of target non-creature artifact you control, except its name is Mishra's war form, and it's a 4/4 construct artifact creature. In addition to its other types, it gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So I saw this. This gives me excuse to run Mana Crypt and Mana Vault and kill somebody with it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems strong enough. I mean, I might put it in Brea, might, but it's
He's
really not.
Grixis. I don't know if you could run that in Brea, can you? Oh no, Brea's like
Brea's
has
greenless.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, so like it seems interesting. Did they spoil the rest of the deck, or is it just the faces?
They've just spoiled the faces, which are Mishra and Urza.
Right. I'm curious what else is in there. Not sure how you break this right now. But
I've seen some like infinite things where like, oh, you make this thing that makes it's just like here's infinite mana when you turn this artifact into a creature and you can do untap shenanigans.
Sure.
It's like
Oh
here's
yeah,
this,
yeah.
here's this line to because I forget what the card is, but it's like a voltaic key that says you can only untap artifact creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put like
Okay,
Urza
so
out.
then,
Yeah, you put like Urza out and all your things tap for blue. It's like, up, you untapped the worker and you have unlimited blue. And it's like, up, here we go. We went infinite. We broke it. Yay.
okay.
You broke a new commander.
Some more
Congratulations.
infinite loops. I mean,
Yep.
that's kind of what artifacts do, I feel like nowadays.
I like them because I've liked Mishra on the lore for a very long time, and the Mishra we had was just it didn't
Not
really
commander
work.
playable.
No, it wasn't really all that commander playable. So I enjoy this. It gives me an excuse to run all like these 0-drop artifacts I have that are viewed as quote unquote too powerful, which they are, but it's like, hey, this Mana Crypt is a beater, and I'm going to hit you with it, and you have a chance to block it now and kill it.
You're right. That bone saw is just too powerful.
Or, here, look, behold, my dark steel fortress. Go get him, son. Behold this 4/4 that I paid 9 mana for.
I wonder if they'll reprint like Goblin Engineer and
just standard?
Goblin
Or in the decks?
Into the decks.
I think they could. He's not that fairly like rare or anything like that. It's a good card. I can see it, yeah.
Goblin Engineer, what's the other one? Goblin
Welder.
Yeah. If they put some of those kind of cards in there, like I'm really hoping that we can get some sweet reprints with these ones because there's so much like I feel like that's a big portion of like expensive commander decks is someone like the artifact synergies.
Oh yeah. Speaking of artifact synergies, let's talk about Urza, Chief Artificer. Urza is a 4/5 legendary creature, human artificer for 3 and an Esper. He has affinity for creature artifacts, which is weird. But
Mirrors.
artifact creatures you control have menace, so that could really go well in your Brea deck already.
Mm-hmm.
You can run both the brothers in there, and they can just make this 4/4 menace mana crypt that has, oh my god. At the beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token. With this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. So basically, it's just Urza. He gives all of your artifact creatures menace, and he does the Urza thing where he makes an Urza token.
I do like that he makes them at your end step, so that way it's
Yeah.
not blinkable, but it's also repeatable, which is really
Yeah.
good. If you can keep them around, which will be tough,
Yeah.
but
Now I think this, like, because I'm rebuilding Brea because I got those secret layer Breas, but I'm going to throw him right. I think he fits real well in there because Thopters with menace are already hard enough to kill or block.
right. Yeah, I think I do like the flavor that like Mishra's a 5/4 and Urza's a 4/5, so that they like kill each other.
Yeah.
Nice touch. Uh
Yeah.
I really, really, really like that they made Urza Esper rather than Azorius or just mono blue again,
Yeah.
because he is like kind of a villain. Like, even though he's looked at as a hero, he's kind of a villain of the
He ain't
story.
he ain't the good guy.
No, not at all.
No, he's not. He's the closest this story has to a quote unquote good guy, I believe, if I'm not wrong. It's been a while since I've read up on the Brothers War.
I mean,
lore.
yeah, it's just because it's like Phyrexians versus, Dominaria, and like but Urza is not a good person.
Urza is not a good man. I hate how people are like, oh, Urza's the best. I'm like,
so I like that they put him with some black, because he's very self-righteous and doesn't care about others as much.
Yep. Speaking of Urza not being a good man, like to his wife, we got Queen Kayla. Oh, jeez, I'm gonna fuck this up. Queen Kayla bin Karug. Thank you. She is a 2/3 human noble for 1 red white. And she has pay 4 mana, tap, discard all cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. You may choose an artifact or a creature card with mana value 1 or less you discarded this way. Then do the same for an artifact or creature card with mana value 2 and 3, and return those cards to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. So it's kind of like, I'm going to dump my hand and cheat out 3 things in Boros.
I really like this card.
Tell me why you like this. I'm not. I just see kind of like free weird value. Tell me what's good about it.
I'm not saying it's necessarily good, but I like that you, for 4 mana, get three things out of your graveyard. I know it's expensive. Like, if you wanted to do this on this like 1 turn, you'd have to have haste and 7 mana. But if she can stick around, I feel like there's a lot of like pretty busted things you can do. I don't have anything off the top of my head, that like I'm working on building it, but I'm building it a specific way.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are, shit, like putting out a buttload of mana, putting out a bunch of, the fact that it goes right to the battlefield. That I think of that value. You could get 3 things for 4 mana onto the battlefield, and that honestly, like, you could set up a combo right there.
You could put out a Skull Clamp into a Howling Mine into a. I don't know any more 3 mana artifacts.
Oh
no, you could. So it could go Skull Clamp, Howling Mine, and then Jalam's Tome. Boom, right there.
No, you go Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Commander Sphere.
There you go.
And then you've got a buttload of mana for the next turn.
There you go.
I'm sure people already talked about breaking it, but
there has to be a way to just. It's not like It's breakable. You just discard. You got to discard stuff, but
Discarding your hand means nothing, especially because you're in red. So then you're like, okay, cool. I have access to Underworld Breach.
she does refill the hand. Yeah, but she does refill the hand too. So yeah, you just got to find a way to really untap her. And if you have
Yeah.
infinite
Lion's
mana,
Eye Diamond is good. People use
yeah,
Lion's Eye
yeah,
Diamond.
ooh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you just find a way to untap her, refill your hand. You refill your hand, and then there's probably some line. Yeah, yeah. All right, you've sold me. I was like, all right, I don't. This is a weird card. All right. Speaking of weird cards, there's this 2-mana creature. It's a mythic in the set, and he's a 3/2 with Defender. He's called Surge Engine. I think he's gonna be really good for the Defender deck in Standard. For 1 blue, Surge Engine loses Defender, and this creature can't be blocked. For 2 and a blue, Surge Engine becomes blue and has base power and toughness 4/5. Activate only if Surge Engine doesn't have Defender. And for 4 blue, draw 3 cards. Activate only if Surge Engine is blue and only once. So this is kind of falling back on like these new level up creatures we've been seeing, like from the Phyrexian dude in the current set. I only see this being good in like Standard right now. Other than that, like Commander, it's kind of like it's like, haha, look at this. I have this weird build around in my Defender Walls deck. I mean, paying 7 mana to draw 3 cards to only activate once, or only once, and you have to jump through. Well, what is it? God, you gotta pay 7 mana in total to draw 3 cards. Is that worth in Commander, you think?
Well, there's definitely ways you could get to that, like, because the third thing doesn't care about the Defender necessarily. It just cares that it's blue. So there's like Chief Engineer, I think, is the one. No, not Chief Engineer. There's one that like you can pay to make an artifact a blue creature. But you could make them
There are
blue
ways
and
to make
then
things
6
blue in
to 6
Commander.
mana to draw 3. I mean, not good rate necessarily, but you still get a body out of it.
It
Yeah.
ain't the worst thing in the world.
No.
I wouldn't say it's good.
Right.
There's
I don't know if it should be a mythic.
Yeah, no, I specifically see this like, okay, like there's a Walls deck right now in Standard, which is pretty fun, and it's gonna go right in there because it's Defender. But I think it's just like this level up can kind of be stupid, and they don't want it to be too busted, and they want to limit it. So this might just be a pack filler mythic where it's like, oh shoot, we need another mythic slot. Bump up this rare to a mythic.
Yeah, sorry. Grand Architect is the one. It's a
yes.
1 blue for a 1/3 Vidalcan Artificer. Other blue creatures get +1/+1. You can pay a blue to turn an artifact creature into a blue. Or make it blue into a blue, and then tap a blue creature, and you can add 2 colorless to your mana pool. And you can only activate this, or you can only spend this mana to activate artifacts, abilities, or cast artifact spells.
Yeah. We also have Mishra's Foundry, which I kind of like this. It's a nod at Mishra's Factory. It's a land, taps for colorless, pay 2. Mishra's Foundry becomes a 2/2 assembly worker artifact creature until end of turn. It's still a land, 1 in tap. Target attacking assembly worker gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So you can't quite do those Mishra Factory shenanigans with it, but a colorless land that just becomes a 2/2, and if you have another one out, it just becomes a 4/4. It's pretty good. I think it's a decent, good land, and I enjoy it. It's going in Kozilek.
As a standard card, it's pretty good.
It's very good.
Yeah. Are there any other creature lands right now in Standard?
No, because we rotated from AFR, and those had those big creature lands.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna make an impact there. But
the fact that it's colorless too, you could slot this in any deck, and like 2 of them, it's like boom, there we go. And I feel like artifacts are going to be a heavy tone in this set. Speaking of artifacts, maybe we should talk about the brothers in their standard form. I think we'll start with the lesser of the two. We'll start with Urza, Lord Protector, for 1 white blue. Don't you? You know it's true. Mishra is the Chad. All right, for 1 white blue, you get a legendary human artificer 2/4 Urza, Lord of Protection. Artifacts, instants, and sorcery spells you cast cost one less to cast. 7 mana if you both own and control Urza, Lord Protector, and an artifact named the Might Stone and Weak Stone, exile them and meld them into Urza Planeswalker. Activate only as a sorcery. So we'll get to Urza Planeswalker, but we'll talk about the Might Stone and the Weak Stone. I've seen a lot of people upset with the naming of this.
Why? Because it's not
Because
Meek Stone.
It's Meek Stone.
Yeah.
That's very frustrating.
I agree with that
It's
assumption.
just like,
I wish it was the Meek Stone.
it should have been the Meek Stone. It's not. You just change one letter. Somebody's getting fired over that. All right, but the Might and the Meek Stone. It's 5 mana. It's a legendary artifact power stone. Says when the Might Stone and Weak Stone, I'm going to say Meek Stone. It's the Meek Stone. Enter the battlefield. Choose one. Draw 2 cards. Turn creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn, and has tap. Add 2 mana. This mana can't be spent on non-artifact spells. So it's a 5 mana rock that taps for colorless. You need it to meld with Urza, and it could come down, potentially kill something, or draw you 2 cards. How do you feel about that? Would you pay 5 mana to draw 2, and then have an artifact that taps for 2?
No.
So essentially paying 3 mana, 3 colorless mana to draw 2.
But the intent is that it's supposed to meld with Urza.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's 5 mana. So yeah, it's great, but like, you're also supposed to spend 5 mana, play it, and then next turn spend 7 mana, and convert your Urza.
Yeah,
as an artifact by itself, it's not that good. But
I wouldn't play it unless I'm playing Urza.
Right.
Well, that's not true. I might.
I also don't like the fact that it's a legendary artifact, because when we get to like Mishra, his meld card isn't legendary, so you can have multiples on the field.
Well,
you get multiple value.
I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot of stuff that taps for 2. Colorless Soul Ring. It's a 1 mana card. Hedron Grinder is a 6 mana card, and that taps for 3. Colorless. And you can sack it to draw cards, or you can tap it to draw cards.
Yeah.
So
I
like,
agree
there's
that it should be legendary because it's Urza.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this thing has a lot of problems. I don't know. We'll see. It depends on how good this Urza Planeswalker is. Urza Planeswalker.
Well, hold on. I want one more thing about the Might and Weak Stone.
All right.
You talk shit about it, but I bet you when that goes into Breya, no, when it's in my Breya deck.
Oh, and you just blink it?
I blink it, or I get it out for super cheap. You're gonna be like, well, goddamn, son.
He was right the whole time.
So in the context, if you have Urza out and you play this, reduces by 1, so it's 4 mana, reduces it by 2. That's 2 mana to draw 2 potentially. You know, this is implying that like we're getting all that. 2 mana draw 2. All right, seems better, but you gotta have Urza out. But speaking of Urza, we've said all we got. All right, Urza, legendary planeswalker, has a static ability. Once during each of your turns, you may activate an additional loyalty ability of Urza Planeswalker. You may activate the same ability twice. He has 7 starting loyalty. +2, artifact, instants, and sorcery spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. You gain 2 life. +1, draw 2 cards and discard a card. 0, create 2 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens. -3, exile target non-land permanent. -10, artifacts and planeswalkers you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Destroy all non-land permanents. So what do you think of this dude?
I think it's probably one of the better planeswalkers to exist.
It's definitely a good planeswalker. That's
Yeah.
a lot of reading. That's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
so it's you gotta jump through hoops to make this, so it should be powerful. It's a good planeswalker. It's blue-white. The -10 is like, all right. The +1 to just draw 2 and then discard a card is solid. So it's like draw 4, discard 2. Or create 2 bodies. Or create 4 1/1s.
I mean,
Yeah, dude. If you zero twice, you've got protection. If you +2, you can use that to, cast something that's gonna help protect Urza, and then you can also zero. Like the fact that you can do 2 is it's nutso. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see it happening very often because I think it has similar issues to like the other meld mechanic that was like with Bracella or whatever,
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, cool, you did this, now I'm just gonna remove it. But
Yeah. Well, this is a planeswalker, so it's somewhat quote unquote harder to remove than a creature.
I
But
mean, standard and it probably won't see modern play because
no,
it's too hard.
no.
But standard, I could see it being fine. Commander's gonna be tough. People
I'll
are gonna do it, but it's
yeah,
gonna be tough because then you've got 3 people attacking it.
yeah. I could see people like, hey, this is my artifact Urza meld deck. Could I use the Meek Stone as like a partner?
I would not do that.
Yeah.
I'd say you got to put it in
It's
the
gonna
main game.
happen. People go like, can I use this artifact as like a partner commander? But as standard, I think this is a effing powerhouse. Just
my problem with it in Commander is that, and this is my opinion, Planeswalkers are not that exciting to play against or with in Commander, in my opinion. Now, Zach plays Amanatu. That's one thing, though. He's not playing he plays Amanatu, which is a degenerate card, but he doesn't play Amanatu in a degenerate way. However, Teferi is a very degenerate Planeswalker card. And now we have another Planeswalker card that is very similar in the aspect of I'm doing things on your turn, which I think takes away from the game a little bit because now Urza's like,
oh,
we
he
have
can't do
kill
things
hit.
on your turn. It's only once each during your turns.
You get to do it twice on your turn, but it's not
Yeah.
instant speed like the
Yeah.
Teferi.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah. Don't worry. I thought the same thing too. I'm like,
I thought
shit.
I thought you could activate that on your opponent's turn.
No. So did I when I first heard it. I was
that
like,
would
oh
be
my god, you're drawing 4 cards a turn, making 4 bodies a turn. What? Oh wait, I have to read this fucker.
Also, if you get the Chain Veil, pretty sure
God, shut
Chain
up.
Veil's not good with this. That's
3
nasty.
activations of Urza.
Yucky. That's
All
really,
right.
really
And then you
nasty.
blink it with Oath of Teferi. Oh, wait, no, you
All
can't
right.
blink it because then it won't come back.
Speaking of yucky, let's talk about he's
no.
not yucky, he's amazing, and I love it. Let's talk about Mishra. Let's talk about the Mishra meld. Oh boy. Oh boy. Actively excited. All right. Mishra claimed by Gext. He's a 3/5 for 2 and Rakdos. You have a legendary creature, Phyrexian Human Artificer. Whenever you attack, each opponent loses X life. You gain X life, where X is the number of attacking creatures. If Mishra claimed by Gext and a creature named Phyrexian Dragon Engine are attacking, and you both own and control them, exile them and meld them into Mishra, lost to Phyrexia, and enters tapped and attacking. We'll get to him. Phyrexian Dragon Engine is a 3-mana Phyrexian Dragon 2/2. It's an artifact creature with double strike. When Phyrexian Dragon Engine enters the battlefield from your graveyard, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. It has Unearth for 3 red. So I just as these two already, I think they're way better than Urza and the Stones. These will kill you. These are meant to kill your opponent fast. Urza's like quote unquote value, but Mishra being a 3/5 that just can slowly ping away. That's a 4-point life swing every. That's a 8-point life swing just with him. You get the dragon out with double strike. Oof. But what do you guys think of these two?
They're good.
Yeah, it seems decent. It's gonna go in Rakdos.
Yeah.
Did you say what Mishra lost to Phyrexia does? Yeah.
We'll get to that. I wanted to see what you guys think of just their base forms first before they do the
sure.
fusion dance.
Their base forms are fine. I mean, a 3/5 for 4 mana is decent. 3 mana 2/2 with double strike is not good to me, but I
When he enters from the
understand.
graveyard, you can draw cards though, so it can refill your hand.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta discard your hand. I mean,
It-
it's not like awful. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's like, it's fine if you can.
On rate though, a 3-mana, a colorless 3-mana 2/2 with double strike, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but it has no other protections. It just swords it.
I'm talking about
Bye-bye.
like other formats, like standard, man. Like
You just
standard, this is
give it
a
-2/2. Bye bye.
play the Meek Stone, give it -5/5. Is this overkill?
Exactly.
Yes, it is. But what else is this thing gonna do?
I
found.
mean, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
All
I'm
right.
not saying it's good. I'm not. I don't think the Phyrexian Dragon Engine on its own is a good card.
Well, then let's talk about Mishra, the lost Phyrexia. Oh, Mishra lost to Phyrexia. Dude, reading's hard today. All right.
You want me to take over?
Nah, I got this. I'm a big boy. Whenever Mishra lost to Phyrexia enters the battlefield or attacks, choose 3. And by the way, he comes in tapped and attacking. So, if I'm
You don't get the
remembering
attack
Meld
trigger.
right, you get to
don't
activate
the-
this twice.
No, you don't get the
No.
attack trigger.
You don't. You just
'Cause
get to
it's
enter then.
Tapped and attacking.
All right. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Mishra deals 3 damage to any target. Destroy target artifact or planeswalker. Creatures you control gain menace and trample until end of turn. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Create 2 tapped Power Stone tokens. And he's a 9/9. So that's a lot of damage.
I think this side of the card is good.
Yeah.
I think this card is good.
The other two, fine, whatever. This card, fucking sweet.
This card is fucking amazing. But you get the trigger right away because he's entering the battlefield, which is like, all right, I'm gonna give it menace and trample. And then creatures that I don't control get -2/-2 until end of turn. Or I'm just gonna do 6.
Choose the same one. You can't choose the same one.
No, you can. It just says choose 3. It doesn't say anything about not choosing the same.
When it says choose 3, it would say like you can choose the same.
That's right.
That's
Well,
how
so
they
then you
word
just
it.
deal 3 damage to the opponent, give your thing menace and trample, and your opponent shit gets
And-
-1/-1. All right, have fun, sir. I'm coming in. Choo choo.
Or destroy their Urza that they just flipped over last turn.
Oh yeah, or just blow up Urza. Aha! I did it. I've dumped all this mana into Urza. Behold my power. Look at my 4/1/1s. What could you possibly do? Cracks neck, breaks knuckles. All right, let's do this shit.
But yeah, I think it's a cool card. Like I said, as much as I don't like the Dragon Engine, this combination of cards is gonna go in Rakdos because then I can make the Dragon Engine cost 0, which makes the
Oh
card
my
good.
god.
That would make the card good. And there's a lot of haste enablers in there too, so I can just do this right away.
That's disgusting.
What do the Power Stone tokens do? Just
Power
tap
Stone
for mana?
tokens are basically little. They tap for 1 mana. That mana can only be spent on non-artifact creatures and abilities.
Non-creature
basically-
artifacts, probably. You mean?
Yeah, it's I forget what the exact word is, but basically you can't use them on creatures and
Gotcha. It's
and-
only for artifact stuff.
yep, but you can use them for like mana abilities too, but they only make colorless mana. So
Okay.
other than that, so far what we've been spoiled is we've gotten Ashnod, Flesh Mechanist, we got Hercule, Master Wizard, Gix, Yawgmoth's Praetor, Saheeli's going to be in the set, and we got Tufuri fucking up everything. And we got these sick-ass lands with mechas in them, and I love them. And I need 100 of each.
I will say I'm gonna go back to because we like for Ashnod, Hercule, Gix, Saheeli, and Teferi, we don't have their actual cards. We just have art spoiled
Yep.
at this point.
Yeah.
But I am excited because I want a good Ashnod card. I hope she's good.
What if she's green, so you can't run her in any artifact deck?
I
She's
mean, that's
mono
fine.
green.
I'll make a mono green artifact deck. Hercule, I'm excited for because Hercule's recall is a bitch.
Dylan, how would
Gix,
you feel if Hercule wasn't a wizard? It was like a human noble or something?
her name is Hercule Master Wizard, but isn't a wizard.
Yes. But it has the text, she is a wizard.
I want her to say counts as a wizard.
Oh my god,
Please.
that would be so good.
If they
That's
bring back
your
the
new
text
commander.
legend counts as
Be
a
the
wizard, I would
greatest.
be so happy. And I
It
would
says-
immediately make her my commander without a
says-
second question.
It says summon legendary, and then
Please, Wizards of the Coast,
If you're gonna do
do anything, please God.
Speaking of old things, so in this set, the commander decks, all the cards are old bordered.
love it.
All of them. So the soul rings, your reliquary towers, your commander tower, all that is old border. And I believe in like the what are those called? The set boosters. There's gonna be like old school, like old border cards, like a Wormcoil engine that's an old border, a Baleful Strix that's an old border,
Yeah,
Lodestone Golem.
It's gonna be like the Strixhaven
Mystery
the Mystical Archives.
Yeah.
Where there's I don't think it's in the draft packs, but in the set and the collector boosters,
Yep.
there's one guaranteed like old border card. And then there's one Wormcoil that's numbered.
Yeah, they have like
That
500
out of
worm
500.
coils. So that's cool. But the one thing I found cool about this is like I hope they do like premiums of like the Mishra and Urza deck. So we have like full foil decks. Cuz I would buy a full foil Mishra old border deck, dude.
See, you're the problem. You're the reason why that Wizards can just keep printing a million things. He's like, yep, I'll buy it.
This is the only time I'll advocate. Okay, there was the Warhammer one, but this is the second time you'll ever hear me say this.
And there was all the secret layers. This is the 4th time.
All right, this is the 87th time, all right? All right, speaking of other bullshit Wizards likes to do, 30th anniversary edition.
Dylan, go in on him, Dylan.
Fucking bullshit, man. I can't believe they decided to print this dog shit, stupid. Fuck you, Wizards, for printing this bullshit. That is so beneath you. You printed proxies. After complaining about proxies, you're like, we're gonna print proxies. We see all these people, they like to go on Etsy and stuff like that. What if we gave it to them and charged them an arm and a leg for it? Yeah, sound good, sound great, awesome. That's like, dude, it's fucking stupid, man. They are doing, and then just to say that they're not tournament legal is just I mean, you've already done it. You've already done it, Wizards. The fact that you even printed the cards, even if you took it back now, I'd still hate you. It's just ridiculous. It's bullshit. There's no reason for that to exist. To say all that should be an alert to every Magic player that, just so you know, they don't give a shit about your collectible card game. They don't give a fuck about it. They care about you buying new product, they care about you buying the newest thing, and they care about pushing, because as soon as this train stops, and it won't stop, if this train ever stops, then you will all suddenly realize that you're all buying into this game that is going to be worth absolutely fucking nothing. Because Wizards just proved it. They printed their own proxy cards for their own game. I mean, just think about that. I mean, like, okay, so they printed reserve list cards, right? And say they're not tournament legal. Okay, they look like Magic cards, feel like Magic cards, but just the fact that you told us they're not Magic cards makes them not Magic cards. Like, you printed these. You printed every other card we've ever played with. It's like collectors. Sell your stuff. Get rid of your shit. It's not good. I'm getting rid of my collection at this point. I don't trust the Wizards won't just sit there and reprint everything into oblivion, and my shit's not going to be worth anything at the end of this. So, fuck that.
So Dylan loves it.
Yeah. By the way, totally gonna buy it. $250 a pack. You've got me. Sold. I'll buy you $1,000 boxes. Why not?
I
And
want to
so
play devil's
odd.
advocate here.
Oh, you bastard! You're a
I
bastard. That's what you
all
are.
I'm saying is, yes, this thing is overly expensive. No, it's not tournament legal. It's buying proxies from them. Let's see how many they sell. I think they're gonna sell quite a few of them, but it's gonna be like to Post Malone, and that's probably about it.
Post Malone buys entire stock. He already has the real cards. He just wanted the gold backing.
The only thing that I think is cool about this is I find that it would be really fun to get to open pretty much like get the experience of opening an alpha pack and like pulling that Black Lotus or pulling those dual lands or something along those lines. I think that's a cool experience. I don't think that this is the sky falling down. I don't think that the value of all cards is going to plummet and that
I just realized I sounded like Rudy there for a second.
yeah.
We just kept letting you go, man. We just let you go.
Bad. Okay.
I mean, I understand that there's a collectability, portion to this game, but if you're in it for the finance, then yeah, be upset about this. But if you're in for the player experience and you want to play the game, I think this is totally fine. No, we are not going to be able to purchase these. $1,000 for 4 packs is outrageous. I think that
For
is
you, maybe.
I think that's like predatory, gross, all this kind of stuff. It's just preying on the whales, but let the whales buy it. Like,
I mean, if they buy it, I mean, hell, if Wizards came out with a card, any card, and just said, and it's similar to this one. You know how there's that there's the one treasure token that's like the Lunar New Year, but it's like a $200 treasure token. It's not even a playable card. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, they could just come out with that and say this is a one-of-a-kind card. Only so many people can buy it, and everybody would just eat it up because,
and
collectability.
Here's also the point. Like, collectability is good. Yes, I want my cards to be worth something, but I would rather play with a game. And if they're making it accessible in some way to be able to be played with those cards, by all means, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you print off one of those cards and play with it, but I can't get upset with them for trying to make money. I mean, they're still a business. And also, I had a point. Like, oh yeah, I remember. I was gonna be about the reserve list. So there are so many people that hate the reserve list. They think that it's unnecessary, it's stupid, and now they found a way to print the reserve list, and everyone's like, well, these fucking assholes, they printed the reserve list. like it's a double-edged sword, and it's just like you can't make everyone happy all the time, and so it's just like it's not a tournament legal thing. They did gold border cards before in the past, and what I like about these ones is the front of it is yes, they did print a banding card. I don't like that it's not old border.
No, it's a green wolf with banding. I have to run it. You don't
Brody
understand.
just sent a picture of Timberwolves, which is a 1/1 wolf for green, 1 green, and it has banding.
I have to buy this set until I pull this card.
Or you just buy that one card.
Guarantee it's 25 cents.
Probably, because no one's gonna want. They're gonna be like, "Oh, the banding one. I'll throw that in the trash."
Yeah, exactly.
gonna
One
be
thing
digging in the
I'll
trash.
say, another thing that I don't like about this, I don't like the art that they picked for the dual lands.
I don't either.
Oh, the
I
modern art.
I don't like the modern art, and with the ones that are old bordered, I don't like. Again, this is a personal preference for me, and I'm probably wrong for most other people, but I liked the fact that it said like this counts as a plains and a mountain and blah 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 or whatever for plateau, and I liked that, and I liked that it had like the weird like outline boxy thing like in the
Yeah, I
text
like
box.
that.
I wish they
Yeah.
could have done that. I'm sure that's where they probably might get into like some issues with reserve list people, but um I don't know. I don't think this is a good product, but I don't think it's the end of the world product either.
So what I saw this and I'm like, okay, what I initially thought, didn't read into it, didn't look into it, was like $1,000. You get Power 9, dual lands, and some other high powered shit. And I looked and I'm like, oh,
Maybe.
yeah, I'm like, oh no, they filled it full of like really old and just alpha and beta stuff. Okay. I don't want to run that gamble of spending $1,000 and I might pull a time vault. I might pull a Mox. I might pull a mana vault. Or I could pull fucking Urza's sunglasses. Which Urza's sunglasses looks cool.
Beautiful card.
I need the clue token that is, or the treasure token that is Urza's sunglasses. What I want from this set most of all are the tokens and the lands. Just like the regular old school lands.
For sure.
That's what I want. But like, if I'm going to be spending $1,000, you know what I can buy with $1,000? I can buy 2 dual lands and a Wheel of Fortune.
No. Not
I never
really.
said they'd be in good condition.
Yeah, if you're
condition
buying
white
all,
border.
if you buy all 3 in white border and in damaged condition, yeah, sure, you can get them for $1,000.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
still
playing
get
with
'em.
Commander, and I'm going to make people cringe because they look horrible.
And they're
So,
tournament legal.
they're tournament legal.
If it's sleevable, it's playable.
Yeah, but if they didn't fill it with like so much filler, then I could be like, all right, yeah, like we're taking all the best cards from this era. Like, here's a Birds of Paradise, here's a Wheel of Fortune, here's a Channel, here's some iconic stuff too, like Giant Spider, Land of War Elves. All right, okay, yeah, it's
Hill
a
Giant. Don't
nod
forget
to-
about my boy Hill Giant.
It's a nod to like Magic for the past 30 years, and these cards were iconic in this time period. All right. I see the price tag. I see what you're doing. You're testing the waters, but no, you're filling it full of pack filler. It's gonna be bad, and people are gonna spend $1,000 and they're gonna come out with a war mammoth.
Love it. You know what that means? That means people are gonna be upset. They're gonna sell that card, and guess who's gonna get it for cheap? This guy.
We the people.
People are gonna get upset, and I'm gonna get a cool war mammoth.
Look, Bob, look at my war mammoth. That's nice, dear. All right. Is this all we're talking about? This monstrosity of 30th shilling?
Yeah, there's not much to say about it other than like,
All right.
buy it if you want it.
Speaking of shilling, more shilling.
What are we
New
shilling
Secret
about
Layers.
now?
It's Little Walkers. I love the Little Walker series. We got some new Planeswalkers. It's just Elspeth, Sun's Champion, Narset, Parter Veils, Garruk, Wild Speaker, Sahili, Sublime Artificer, and Sarkin Vol.
Aren't they only sold on like a certain website?
No, I believe it's the Secret Layer website. Let's find out.
I thought something that was like only sold through like. I could be wrong. I was looking.
Possibly.
So I was like, oh.
Nope, it's on the Secret Layer. Exclusively at Hasbro Plus. Fuck you.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
I hate Hasbro. I hate him so much.
I'm sorry, what?
So there's like a Hasbro event going on or something, and you can only get this Lil Walker Planeswalker Secret Lair, from Hasbro. like from Hasbro's website.
Hate it so much. Hasbro needs to let go of Wizards and just die as a company.
You guys know how? Remember when we used to shit on how Activision and Blizzard were just terrible together, and how Activision was just being a really shitty company and bringing Worlds of Warcraft as a game and Blizzard as a company kind of into the dirt because of their sales tactics.
Yep,
It's like looking in a mirror.
it is. All right, but I like the little walkers. I don't know if I'll buy them now because I have to.
Brody, please stop. Stop.
I don't need them. They're.
But look at this cute little Elspeth.
Why
I know it's a. I love.
And Narset's got these big glowing eyes. Look how cute she is.
I don't know. I might just because it's like these planeswalkers have been printed into the ground. They'll probably be like $10 or something like that when they come to when people get them. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the first ones they did, like the Angrath and
Oh god,
stuff,
it was
are like
Angrath
cheaper
and
than the normal
Johnny.
version.
Yeah, they're not that expensive.
No,
But
just buy them individually. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, if you're gonna get them, I would just get them from this.
My biggest thing is what's with Wizards and trying to sell lands in Secret Lair form. I don't understand. Like $160 for 5 of
Oh,
each
no.
land
He went to
in
the Secret
these.
Lair
Like,
website and he's
why?
looking at the basics. No,
why
Dylan,
are
don't
they
do it.
selling basic lands, man? Like, what
Don't do it. Stop looking. It hurts. It hurts so much.
Brody, you're telling me it hurts. You're the one that wants to go to Hasbro Plus to get 5 Planeswalker little boys. I'm just like,
All right,
what
now
the
you
fuck?
shut your mouth.
Where does it end with you?
When my wallet yells
Do you
at
want me to
my
play
wallet.
Warhammer, or do you want to buy Secret Lair Magic cards? Come on, Brody.
Speaking of Warhammer and Secret Lair.
Wait! I got
Oh,
something
no.
to say. I got something to say.
All right.
Let me get on my soapbox.
Okay.
Well, that's all the time we have today.
End the episode.
I don't mind the like astrology land ones. I don't like the art on them, but I don't mind them selling stuff like that because people will shill out so much money for specific basics that they want for their deck that like I don't have an issue with it.
Yes.
Like the unstable forests and all that stuff are like $6 each. Or what was the one that Zach, he was looking for the Godzilla one, and they're $20 a piece.
Yep.
$20 a land.
And it's like he'll do something like that. So I have no issue with them selling the basics. It kind of sucks that you only get like 5 for 30, or that you only get like however many for this astrology stuff, but at the same time, I am not mad at it because do whatever you want to bling out your deck. If that's what you want to do, you're gonna have to pay that kind of money anyway.
Let me retort. My upset isn't that they're trying to sell lands via Secret Lair. My upset is that right now this super drop is only lands, and there's no other like bundle cards. Like, I like looking at the Secret Lairs, but like when it's all basic lands, it's like, what the hell, man? I like
the astrology.
like
They've
seeing
been doing
other
this all year.
product.
The astrology ones have been all year. Each month they put out the new astrology.
Really?
Yeah, they've been
It's
doing
like
this all
each
year.
couple of months or something like that, and they're
No, it's
available
every
all
month. Every month they put out one because like
yeah.
I was looking at Taurus because I'm a Taurus, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, but I did not like the lands, so I was like, nah, never mind. I thought about it, but I didn't like the way they looked.
All right. So anyway, speaking of Warhammer and chilling, we got a preview. Like somebody spoiled the Warhammer Secret Lairs coming out, and I think for a couple of these, the value is there. So we have orcs, and these are like Godzilla cards, where it's like here's the name of the card, but it's actually represented as so and so. So we have Orc Commando, and Commando is spelled with a K. It is Merciless Executioner, and it's just whenever it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. We have Moraki, the Lucky Grot. I always screw that up. Grot, he is Kranko, Tin Street Kingpin. Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then create a 1/1 red goblin creature token for its power. We have Devolka, which is Sky Sovereign Colossal Flagship. Just whenever it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. We have Aggravated Assault, which is a $30 to $40 card right now. So that pays for your secret lair, which is nice. And then we have Da Boy, the biggest, baddest war boss. That's Gazgul. And he is Zergal Helm Smasher. And that fucking fits him perfectly. Because all Gazgul does is go in. Blake, did you know that Gazgul once got his head cut off? And they just like, oh no, what do we do with his head? And they just put him on a bigger body. That was his solution to not die. And it was just, I'm going to get a bigger body.
Wow.
Ooh, you really got him with that one.
Yep,
I don't know. I thought it was stupid. All right, then we have the Age of Sigmar. I know very little of Age of Sigmar, but we have Blind Obedience. All right. Neat. Nice reprint. Neva Blackaton.
Sigmar is nowhere near as lore heavy as 40K, and the lore for Sigmar is not. It's not interesting in my opinion. No. I tried getting into it. It's nowhere near as interesting when you start reading into 40K lore. It's like you can't. It's like tasting chocolate and then trying to eat, peanuts or something like that. It's just not. You can't go back.
Yeah. But Neva is Denanthi. She's the 2 and a white creature that makes all your auras, equipment spells cost 1 less, and she has first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. I forget her name. Then we have Archon the Everchosen. I'm butchering this name. It's Najila. We got a Najila reprint, which is with some pretty cool art. Then we have Loxodon Warhammer. And then we got a Scourge of the Throne reprint. I don't know on the Age of Sigmar one. It's kind of meh.
There.
Yeah, no. Like I think Najila is probably the most expensive card in here. Maybe.
No, I think Scourge is.
Scourge?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Scourge of the Throne. Yeah. And then we have Blood Bowl, which we have a touchdown, which is Approach of the Second Sun. We have Reroll, which is Remand. We have Both Down, which is Bone Splinter. We have Throw the Teammate, which is Fling. We have Perfect Defense, which is Defense of the Heart. And we have The Ball, which is a Felmar Stone. So Defense of the Heart
love
reprint.
This one. I don't even know what Blood Bowl is or anything.
It's what UK people think football is.
Yes, this is football, and I want it.
It's because of the Defense of the Heart, or is it because the ball is a Felmar Stone?
Because the ball is a Felmar Stone.
The ball!
And Throw Teammate is Fling. And that reroll fucking art is so good. And I just want to yell touchdown when I win. Defense of the Heart is a good reprint.
Yeah. It's only like an $11 card, but
Defense of the Heart?
Yeah.
No,
really?
It's got to be more than that.
It's $11.
Wow.
I believe you, but I don't believe you.
Believe what you want.
Defense of the Heart. Oh, it's because it was reprinted in Mystery.
But yeah, I'm gonna get the Orc one just because I like a good. I've been twiddling around with my old Zergal Helm Smasher deck, the Voltron. And and I've been needing an excuse to like rebuild it. Not quite Voltron, but something else. And I think with the orcs, I think it's just like, all right, the time is nigh. Let's do this. I'm gonna build a WA deck. And it's just gonna be goblins and orcs.
Cool.
But yeah, I think that's gonna end it for the day. You guys got anything to say on like all the new stuff that's coming out?
Buy
You know?
30th anniversary packs.
Buy 30th anniversary tickets. You can
Buy them.
and you too can spend $30 to see the Magic 30-year anniversary virtually.
Yep. And then you get to order those $1,000 packs. You're gonna be living large, my guy. You're guaranteed value in those guys. Like, I can't imagine that you open a pack that's worth less than
50 cents.
50 cents. I mean, it's gonna be great. You're gonna for sure pull that Black Lotus. You're for sure gonna hit those dual lands. You're gonna be able to play them in your commander decks, and it's gonna be great. You're gonna smash your friends' face in. Brody is not doing the thing that I'm supposed to do, where you start cutting someone off when they go on a rant. So I'm gonna do it to myself. Blake, you gotta shut up. Let's go. End the podcast.